this is another area in which, many people just overlook or don't really understand that there's opportunities for funding out there. And there's a whole bunch of different ways to obtain funding. But the first question that really has to be asked here on financing your business is, do you need funding? That's really the first question, because obviously, right, anytime that you're going to go out and get funds from a third party to fund your endeavors, you are in effect going to give up a percentage of your business. So again, that's not always bad. That oftentimes, if you didn't have funding, some businesses, if they didn't have funding, they would never ever got off the ground. So that million or billion-dollar business that was created would have just never came to fruition, right? But there's other cases in which, bootstrapping's fine. You can just bootstrap this. Look for free ways to advertise and to market. Look for ways to just fund it yourself. Maybe you're working full time at the time, and you just contribute to that business from your own pocket just to keep it going and keep it moving. So the first question is, do you need financing? If you don't, then you pretty much move off of 1.4 into the next one. But if you do, then you get into looking at understanding, all right, what's your one-time expenses? What investments do you have that are one-time? Licensing, permits, is there equipment that you need? Are there raw materials, equipment, and other equipment that you need to buy? But in addition to that, what are your fixed expenses, right? So is there rent on an office space? What your salaries, your utilities, insurance, transportation costs, and the like. So you get into the fixed, and then also your variable expenses associated with your product or service. And what are your startup costs, right? What are your startup costs? And so there's some things there. Again, DocStock has some great things for budgeting your first few months and that sort of thing. But you really need to know what your expenses and startup costs are before you can go to somebody. And you also need your business plan, right? You're not going to be able to get funded anywhere if you don't have, trust me, you will not get funded if you don't have a business plan and you can't answer clearly what your expenses are and how they're going to be applied if you're to have the money, right? So it doesn't matter whether you go, write a funding request to, to go venture capitalists, whether you go to a government, organization, to, small business association, that sort of thing, looking for funds. You can get lots of different loans from lots of different areas in the government. Starting with the SBA, the Small Business Association, is one great place to look. But there's a whole bunch of different places to go on. Microloans are going to your bank, right? You can get a business loan at your bank. Yeah, I'm not sure I go that route. Microloans. I don't have a resource off the tip of my tongue here to type in, but if you just go to Google and type in microloans for entrepreneurs, stuff like that, you'll find lots of stuff, lots of folks, networks, organizations that have come together to do microloans, meaning mini loans, smaller amount loans to help the entrepreneur and small business type startup thing. So that's another way. Friends and family. Now there's lots of negatives of working with family and that sort of thing, but maybe business colleagues, acquaintances, going out and getting somebody, just partnering with somebody who has the actual resources that can help you as you're the main cog behind the business, so to speak. Lots of different things there, but you must have that business plan and your and your expenses identified before you're going to have any chance in heck at getting funding.